Our legend today is a man who appeared for the first time on BBC Radio, even before I did. 1964, frontman and lead singer of the band The Pretty Things, Phil May. Hiya, Phil. Welcome back to Six Music.
Well, thank you for having me.
Well, you were in recently, weren't you, doing a session?
Oh, yeah, we did a session at the Maida Vale studio.
Yeah, because your first appearance on the radio, which I referred to, was 1964 in session.
Yeah.
And that was before even the BBC even had Radio 1. So it was on the Light programme, presumably.
Well, we used to do the Brian Matthew thing,
Yeah.
but that wasn't sessions. That was more him just playing the latest single. But the first thing I remember for the Beeb was we played in the middle of a dance band. You went to that little Paris theatre.
Yeah.
And you were allowed one number or two numbers. And it was such a kind of odd... People who just walked in out the rain sat in this theatre and got what they got, you know. So people looking at us like we were some basemen just landed.
And I've heard some of those recordings, and Brian Matthew was a man in a suit, wasn't he?
Yeah.
And he already worked for the BBC.
Gentleman.
Oh, such a gentleman. And he worked at the BBC for decades. But in those days, I remember him saying, and now a popular combo from Liverpool.
I mean, he never said anything bad about anybody. And as you say, the wonderful thing like the combo, which is such a kind of strange thing to call a band, a combo.
So how old were you then?
18, I guess.
Okay. Oh, so quite a mature person then.
Well, we'd done our 4.5 years as you know, apprenticeship at art school.
Yeah.
Which was a bit like being in the music business without the music.
Of course, then you weren't legally an adult because the age was 21.
No, that's probably true.
The age of maturity was 21. But I saw a documentary the other day, and that somebody claimed that in the 60s, you really felt like an adult at 15. You had all the freedoms. Of course, you probably had left school and you could be working. And the claim in that documentary was that 16-year-olds were given a lot more freedom and responsibility than they are now, because now they're all in school doing GCSEs. Would you have said it was a more exciting time?
I think it was more... I wouldn't say they were given. I think they kind of took it. We did they had a famous programme. It was basically trouble in the workplace, and they had this kid who was being sacked from this cake factory, and because he had long hair. We were there to argue the pros for long hair against all these professors and people from university, whatever, about hygiene and things.
Because you had the ambition to have the longest hair in...
Oh, I thought you said work in a cake...
No.
cake shop. No, I wouldn't mind working in a cake shop, actually. But no, and what we said to him was, why can't he put it in a hairnet? Women do. And they said, yeah, but this is a man. And we said, he doesn't mind if he keeps his job and it keeps his hair understandably out of the machinery. And in the end, we won the argument.
So they were exciting times. You could push
Fantastic,
the boundaries.
Yeah.
And did you live the life once you'd achieved the fame?
Well, when you say the life, I think that
the rock
life,
and roll, you know.
Yeah, I love rock and roll life, but there was a kind of arrogant wastefulness about. In the end, it was quite sickening. The kind of money that was just wasted, and you did it for a while, but then it's like everything, I suppose. It seems to be, you start to question it, and it seems to be less about the music. But being on the road was pretty extraordinary. I wouldn't have changed that, going to Hamburg. When we used to turn up at Newcastle, we had what they call the Newcastle Runners. And as you came over the bridge into Newcastle, I think we were playing the Majestic or the Newcastle City Hall. There'd be these 25, 30 Newcastle lasses who'd wait for you to come. And once the light changed, they'd run behind the car all the way down whatever that main street is. And as you stopped at the lights, they'd catch you up and put lipstick all over the car and bang on the car and scream. And then we shot off again and they'd catch up at the next light. And we would always call them the Newcastle Runners. They were fantastic. Every time we turned up, they were there.
Rock and roll then. So let's hear your first ever top 10 hit, Don't Bring Me Down.